Madam.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, madam.
Gunjan ma'am, are you there? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I am here in the session.
So
Am
can
I
we
audible?
proceed?
Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
madam.
ma'am, you're
Yes,
audible. Can we proceed, ma'am?
yes, yes.
Okay. Can we start the session, ma'am?
Yes, please.
Okay. Okay, so think positive, be positive, and positive.
Next slide. Page English. In focus.
So, good evening, everyone. Think positive, be positive, and positive things will happen. Hello, everyone, all the participants and dignitaries. This is Nikita Khandelwal here. I heartily welcome you all on behalf of Research Foundation of India. The Research Foundation of India focuses on enhancing the educational process by promoting scholarly inquiry and solution related to education and facilitating the dissemination and practical application of research findings. Research Foundation of India primarily focuses on research and development for higher education and was previously known as Foundation for Research. The organization conducts various in-house activities such as workshops, training programs, and conference, and engages in outreach activities such as publishing journals and books. These efforts have been ongoing since the organization inception. So today, is the first day of training faculty development program on innovative teaching and learning pedagogy. Is organized by Research Foundation of India, is sponsored by Eclove University, World Virtual Conference Forum, HERF, WFST, ARGM. The topic of our today's session is tips for conducting group discussion as innovative teaching practices. Our today's subject expert is Dr. Gunjan Shukla. Before proceed our session, I would like to speak something about Dr. Gunjan Shukla. Dr. Gunjan Shukla is serving Society for Entrepreneurship, mentoring startups, spirituality, happiness, and peace in the world. She is a true academician, mentor, and researcher, working as principal Vikrant Institute of Integrated and Advanced Studies, Indore. Ma'am is a researcher and academician gold medalist in postgraduate with financial management. Ma'am has done her MPhil in finance along with a PhD in behavior finance and also having 15 years of experience in academics. She has worked with several universities at Madhya Pradesh and Delhi. Ma'am has guided 3 PhDs and mentored several startups. She loves to write poems and she's a full marathoner, a trained classical dancer, and an art loving person. In her free time, she's a certified parenting coach. She's a motivational speaker and a certified astrologer from All India Astrologer Association, Delhi. In the year 2010, ma'am received an award from the World Brahmin Federation for being an active personality in the field of education and art. Also, ma'am has achieved second runner-up Miss Indore in the year 2005. She has completed several full and half marathons as a runner and as a cyclist. In the years 2021 and 22, ma'am has received an award for the Best Presentation Award for the Global Summit on her presentation on SDG, Goal 12 and Goal 10. Ma'am has published research paper in several national and international journals, editor books and for national and international publications. Also, Madhya Pradesh, ma'am is the MP State Vice President Research Foundation of India. Ma'am has received the title for Mrs. Madhya Pradesh in Mrs. India won an a million at Tiska National Beauty Pageant at Delhi on December 25th, 2021. Ma'am has recently received title for Jyotish Gaurav for a talk and presentation on financial astrology for financial behavior of investors. About thoughtful process, financial literacy gives us a successful, happy, and stress-free life. Let's bring the change and be the change for the coming generation and join hands for sustainable financial literacy. Recently, ma'am has been featured in a magazine, The Entrepreneurs of India, for her mentoring to budding entrepreneurs and for her two startups, which are working on her project Golden Sparrow for promoting women entrepreneurs. Ma'am has also associated with United Consciousness and working for world peace and happiness. She has taken several lectures on Vedanta and its philosophy with Brahmakumaris, also for college students and many societies. Ma'am has totally believes in living life to the fullest. Love you, Zindagi. In short, we can say it's a rare combination of beauty with brain. So, ma'am, now platform is yours. Please hold it. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Nikita ma'am, for such a wonderful and elaborative introduction. I hope I am audible to everyone.
Yes,
It's
ma'am,
been
you are
great
completely
again
audible.
to join the platform with the wonderful participants. I welcome all the participants for another few days more. You will be enjoying the innovative teaching pedagogies, and we being academicians, we need to have uh, this activity or this I must say the innovative teaching practices in our day-to-day routine to make our lectures more interesting so that students should enjoy and learn. So today's topic for innovative teaching practices is group discussion, and I'll be just sharing few important aspects which I realize that group discussion should have, and why group discussion should be part of teaching practice. Now, as we all know, that a group discussion is a technique used by corporate companies, educational institutes, and other organizations to judge the communication skills of participants. Communication skills are a crucial factor when compared to technical knowledge is one of the corporate environment. So I completely believe here that when it is about group discussion, should not only practiced in the class just for the sake of improving the communication, but also make your students more aware that how a GD should happen. Because whenever it is about a graduate student, they pursue MBA from good institutions where GD is again part of the entrance. And apart from that, after doing their post graduation or whenever they appear for the placement drive, GD is again one of the important aspect where it is a it is a level which a student need to clear before getting into any kind of PI. So GD has its own importance when it comes to classroom, when it comes to corporate companies, when it comes to educational institutions, organization, and when it comes to being a student in the class and trying to participate and trying to add on to whatever the student or the candidate is aware of on the specific topic on which a GD is happening. So here, number one step is, we being academician always have group of students. Now we all know that in a group of students, it is never important that all students are very kind of talkative, and they are very smart, and they are very good in speech and all. We always have a group of students which are divided into these six categories. Number one is initiators, number two is interrupters, three is talkers, fourth are introverts, fifth are leaders, and sixth are challengers. Now, first of all, being an academician in the class, or being a TG, tutor guardian in the class, or being while taking lecture, whatever subjects we are teaching in the class, we being teachers have this, skill of understanding the capacity of the student. Now, first of all, we need to understand that how many students are there who feel so introvert, who are mediocre or below mediocre. We being teacher needs to push them, force them to improve a bit more towards the communication skill, to be more participative in the discussion and all. So there must be some of these students who are good initiators. Whenever you start, whenever you ask a question, whenever you put up a question in the class, there is always a few group of students who keep initiating and answering the things. There are few who try to interrupt, interpreters. They try to understand, they try to interpret, they try to interrupt the discussion and all. There are few who are talkers. They try to add on to something what is going on in the discussion in the class. They try to add on to this few points. They try to add on to from their own side. There are students who try to lead the team, and there are students who love to challenge and who love to take the challenge. So number one step of a teacher to organize the group discussion in the class is, first of all, decide a theme or a topic. Now give them a homework that tomorrow we are going to have a GD on this topic. Now please understand what kind of students, what kind of target audience you are having. Every time it is not important that all the students are having the similar kind of speaking skills, or similar kind of skills of taking initiative to start the discussion. And they are not there are many students who are bit introvert in nature, so they feel shy to speak. So please, first of all, try to understand the target audience. Now if you know that there are students who love to lead the discussion, and there are a group of students always we have in the class who are always very updated, they're always aware of things, and if we give them some homework that tomorrow we are going to organize this activity, they themselves come prepared, and they themselves initiate the discussion in the class that, ma'am, yesterday you have given us this homework and I would like to speak something. There must be some group of students who are not that kind of friendly of speaking in the class and putting their own point of views. So we here can initiate the discussions by calling them, by taking their names, and by motivating them to speak out. So number one step to organize the GD is to understand the group of the students you are having. Now GD enhance following skills in the students. First of all, a question comes in mind that being teacher, we just need to finish up with the subject, and we need to finish up with the syllabus. Now let's just go and take the lecture. Now what happens is, every time lecture is not being very fruitful. You need to take few of the topic very importantly. You need to decide that how many topics you are going to take in your GD sessions. Number one, I would like to add on here again, whenever you take a syllabus, I mean you have a syllabus of the class, now take a day time and please understand which topic you are going to use, what kind of pedagogy. Now what kind of pedagogy you are going to use also plays an important role, that where you are going to use GD, where you are going to use role plays, where you are going to use case study methods. Because every time whenever we are talking about organizing lectures, we always make lesson plans. Now when we make lesson plans, it is again important that we should mention that so and so topic we are going to take through GD. These days what happens is, whenever there is a free time, teachers at times thinks that let's take a GD. So randomly आप ऐसे GD organize करेंगे तो वो कभी भी ना अच्छे से शुरू होगा ना अच्छे से end होगा. Anything which you are going to take in the session needs preparation. So initially what I suggest, always take a day time and please make your students understand how they should talk, how they should interrupt, how they should make them understand, how they should push students to add on their point of views and all. So that is one of the most important thing. Now another thing is, when you are trying to have GD in the class, number one is it will increase the confidence of the student. The student will understand the way of communication the person should have, how much amount of knowledge person needs to have while speaking in the class, and how effective a communication can be made, right? To make communication very effective, it is very, very important that we need to make student they should be more interested in putting on their views in the class, whatever topic has been given to them to take on this GD. Again, the quality of language plays a very important role. Now, quality of language is, be it Hindi or be it English, the student should be well aware of expressing the views, because language should never be a barrier. It is just a medium to express your views. आप क्या बात रखना चाहते हैं? If you are comfortable to speak in Hindi or English, whatever language you are using, the quality of language should be good. The vocabulary should be strong. The sentence formation should be good. The voice modulation also plays important role. During GD, you also need to make your student understand that when it is the time to add on, when it is the time to interrupt, and rather they should not create it a debate, or they should not keep fighting on any of the argument, and it should not be very, very argumentative. Rather, it should be more feasible, smooth going, and everyone should be participative. It should not be an autocratic or dominating discussion, but then other students who are sitting in the GD should be a good listener also, because GD here again enhance the listening skills of the student. Because you need to make a student understand, unless you listen things properly, you won't be able to put up your points. It is not important that whatever you have mugged up yesterday about the topic, you have to just vomit it out in the class. No, you need to connect the discussion, what has been said by your counterpart, how you are trying to add on to it, or how you are trying to counter attack or whatever. Then you need to have a very, very assertive attitude. So this is again a skill we need to teach it to our student, that while speaking in the group, it is very, very important that you need to have an assertive attitude. In a positive manner, you should convey your points, whatever you are trying to speak. Paraphrasing skills again plays an important role. Now, paraphrasing again is one of the skill which a GD group discussion activity helps the students to grow. And ultimately, the leadership also. Now, the leadership skill is, as I said, that when students are sitting in the group, they should have this quality in themselves, so that if they want to lead the group, if they want to lead the group, how they should start. They should rather not fight, or they should not rather move the discussion. They should not have biasness in their own point of views. They should be free to present the things in a proper manner. So leadership should also include that person should not be kind of, हम जैसे कई बार देखते हैं कि बच्चे जब बोल रहे हैं, और कुछ बच्चे बहुत ही स्मार्ट होते हैं, कॉन्फिडेंट होते हैं, बट वहीं पे कुछ बच्चे ऐसे भी होते हैं जो ज्यादा बोलते नहीं है उस ग्रुप में. दे कीप लिसनिंग, दे फील शाय. उनको वो डर होता है कि हमारे बोलने से somebody should not laugh at us. So here, being a teacher, we need to make each and every student comfortable. We need to make them understand that if you want to lead the group, it should be in a positive manner. Rather, they should not fight for the things, and they should not be biased, and they should create a friendly atmosphere so that everyone can put up the point of view. Now, as I've already told you, that assertiveness is required, because confidence level of a candidate show up in a group discussion. It is assessed that how confident candidates are while putting up their opinion in front of others, and the approach should be very, very positive. Similarly, when it comes to teamwork, while working for a company, it is very important to work as a part of team in an assigned project. This quality is really important, and this will be evaluated through group discussion. You cannot only put up your own points, but also listen to others and then come to a concluding point. Now, this is called as teamwork. And every time we need to make our students learn and understand that you are sitting in a team and you are putting your point of view. Now you need to listen to others. You need to, then only you should put up your point, or then only you can conclude. And there is always a student who open up the discussion, and there is always a student who is concluding the things. So these are also the things which we can make them understand before organizing the GD. I must say that randomly just going in the class and starting with the GD is not suggested. It is always suggested take few sessions, make them understand how they will be sitting, what will be the sitting arrangement. They will be sitting around the round table, how the discussion is going to happen. Show them some videos of the group discussion, and just make them understand how leadership quality is also important. Now, group discussion clearly indicates how amongst all the participants is taking the lead and who is passive contestant. As good leader, give the entire discussion a good direction and take it forward whenever it is moving from main topic. This quality also evaluated through this process only. Now, this is again important, that if somebody is thinking that many students are putting their points and it has taken some other direction, the discussion is again totally going to some other direction, being a leader, you can always come back to the point, whatever we are trying to discuss in the group discussion. So this is again a leadership quality. Again, communication skill, as communication skill are must in every field of work, these are evaluated through a structured group of discussion. As a communication skill, it is very, very important, and how structured the discussion should go, these things we need to make them understand. Now, steps involved in group discussion: topic announcement, then giving them preparation time, lead start the discussion followed by other participants, then summarization, and judging the individual performance. Make them understand that whenever you will be sitting in a group and you will be adding on your points, you will keep adding your points to the scenario, whatever discussion is going on. Please understand that you will be judged and you will get this much of preparation time. उनको lead time देना जरूरी है, because they are students. So initially they are not that aware, they are not that updated. Maybe in case of young, or in case of college going students, if the students are very, very updated, they don't need a day time. But then again, some preparation time should be given so that they can have their own points in the mind. And there should be somebody who can summarize the overall discussion, what has happened and why it has happened. Now, there is always a purpose why we are organizing. क्या जरूरत है और group discussion होने से क्या फायदे हैं? So there are several purposes for group discussion, like to reach a solution on an issue of concern. Now, here many a times I suggest during my sessions that you can always make them watch a movie. एक रुका हुआ फैसला, अगर आप सभी ने देखी हो, इसका इंग्लिश वर्जन भी है. How they are sitting around, the lawyers, a group of lawyers are sitting around the table and they're discussing the issue and they're reaching a solution. ठीक है ना? So आप इस तरीके के कुछ अच्छे वीडियोस जरूर बच्चों को पहले दिखाएं क्लास में, to make them understand that how this discussion leads to a solution also if there is any issue or concern. To generate new idea for solving a problem, again, group discussion is one of the very good aspect. You can give them example of leaders also, the ministers and the cabinet ministers and so many party people are sitting together. They're resolving the issues of the country, and any of the government department also, they have meetings, they have group discussions. So just for the sake of example, you can just put up these things, that how they resolve the issues by getting new ideas, because so much of brainstorming is going on at a time. So many people are thinking about similar things. They will put up their points. So this is again important, that it generates new idea for solving a problem, for choosing the applicant after written test for the job or for admissions to educational institution. Yes, as I mentioned, that GD is again part of the placement drives, and it helps people to understand that so and so applicant should be selected or not, how the applicant was acting in the group of people, and instantly how he or she was adding on to the points. So initially what I practice is, during the batch of undergraduates, since first semester, I make them practice this group discussion week में एक session या दो session at least, and just to give them a flair of how you will be appearing for your GD during your placement drives. And after some time, when they are in final year, we randomly give them topics so that instantly they think and they can add on to this. So this is something which can be part of the scenario since first year or first semester, to train ourselves in various interpersonal skill. Again, group discussion plays a very important role here also. Now, this is very, very important to understand that types of group discussion are: number one is topic-based group discussion, and number two is case-based group discussion. Now, when it is topic-based, In this discussion, a topic is provided to the candidate about what they have to perform in the discussion. As I've already told you, that you will be giving them a topic and people will be talking about it, and something like that. This logic has been drawn from the actual work scenario. In this discussion, the given topic are three kinds: factual, controversial, and abstract. Now, factual is something fact related topics. Controversial, there might be something which, students can prepare if there is something, for and against kind of issue. So controversial things, they can read, they can understand, they can jot down the points. Abstract topics, intangible things, related things. So any such kind of topic, you can first make them understand what category of topic it is. If it is fact based, they should talk about statistics, they should discuss the year scenario, financial year, or whatever, budget or something like that. Whatever fact based things are there, they can talk about facts. So you need to make them understand that whatever topic has been given is a topic based group discussion or a case based. Now when it is about case based, instead of these topics, small cases are handed over to candidates, which leads to the questions, and they have to discuss those questions. This will help in finding out the problem solving abilities of the candidate. Now here I would like to add on that although you will be studying about the case study also, but at times it happens there are some small caselets, some small incidences which can be case with the students in the class, and students can be given them the task that after putting the questions, you need to brainstorm for the solution and solve the issues, and please bring the alternative solutions for particular question or scenario. Now group discussion, as I have already told you. Yes.
Ma'am, I'm so sorry to interrupt you in between, but me specifically, we are finding it difficult as the slideshow is not broadened and full screen on your tab.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Ma'am, if you could just click on slideshow from beginning or from the current slide, it will get in the bigger one.
Is it visible now?
No, ma'am. You have to click on slideshow upside.
I've already done, ma'am. It is slideshow going on from my side. Is it visible at your end or not?
No, ma'am. I'm talking about the screen. There's an option. Yes, you are on your slideshow, but there's an option where you can do it full screen.
Ma'am, I have made it full screen only.
But it's not.
Ma'am, it is not visible, ma'am.
It's not visible.
It is not visible.
Is there somebody, technical team is there?
I could help you, ma'am. Please just follow one thing. You have to click on slideshow from current slide.
Ma'am, there is a bandwidth issue. That is why it is not coming on full screen. I know there is a slideshow option.
Let me talk to
during the
Yogi.
presentation. Is there technical team? Somebody is present?
Yes, ma'am. I'm trying to connect with Yogi, sir. Just wait.
योगराज सर को बोलिए presentation share कर देंगे.
Yes, ma'am. Sure.
I have mailed him already.
So, madam, I am Dr. Rajesh Kumar Katare from Sage University, Indore.
Great, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah. So, I want to ask some question in between.
Yes, sir. Please go on.
Please let me know. We are always given lecture theoretically, and we always concentrated on the class only theoretically.
Yes,
we
sir.
Are now change, everything is changed now.
Right, sir.
So your teaching methodology insist on practical applications like some industrial or some job oriented learning is essential nowadays.
Yes,
so
sir.
What is your suggestion about this?
So I completely agree to the point that, that is why, if we practice, for example, if we are practicing GD in classroom, now here what happen is student is getting preparation not only about how to speak in the class, but also it is about how to put up your points when you are sitting for placement drive, when you are sitting in the company or in a corporate office. There also at times, some brainstorming sessions are going on, and every candidate or every employee needs to put up the add on to the points or suggestions. So I completely believe that innovative teaching practices plays a very important role. Be it role play, I'll be discussing role play also in last session. Be it group discussion, be it case study methods, because here in case study methods, again, I want to add on that, keep sending students for live project sessions, so that they can, in a smaller format, they can understand the scenario of the organization. And being a playing the role of management consultant, they can understand that what else is required and how the scenario can be improved. So,
Yeah.
sir, I practice this with my students, that, I keep sending them when I teach entrepreneurship. So I send them to the nearby, areas, and small vendors or small entrepreneurs or women entrepreneurs who are sitting roadside, and they have very small shops, and they are trying to sell something made by their own, the handmade things and all. So I suggest my students that may keep it in the project, and help them by your own strategies, how they should improve on sales, and how they should frame their pricing strategy, how they should promote their product, and how they should innovate, be more innovative in the product development approach, or service providers, or whatever. So here
Sure.
students get more practical exposure. And we are living in two-tier city like Indore or Bhopal or something like that, and people living in Delhi and Bombay or Bangalore, their students get a bigger scenario to understand the things. Their things are very easy to, they can join any of the company as an intern. There are a lot of opportunities available. Here, when we send students for internship, most of the time students don't take much interest. Most of the time organization give them some unusual task which is not adding any value to them. So I always suggest that, give your students tasks which really add on to their portfolio when they will sitting for the placement, and whenever they are joining any job or work, or they are becoming an entrepreneur, they should have all taste of this real scenario, that what all challenges they will face in future.
Thank you so much.
Most welcome, sir. Yograj sir, can we go to slide number 9? Is the slide visible now?
Yeah, it is. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
ma'am.
Okay. So next slide. Yes. So when it is about, as I've already mentioned, that GD is having a kind of this case-based and topic-based scenario. Now, whenever you are organizing GD, it will be a topic-based GD or a case-based GD. Now, when it is about evaluating the criteria, now whenever we are organizing group discussion in the class, the most important thing is we need to understand that you always evaluate the performance of your student. Now make a sheet and have this evaluating criteria, and make them understand that how they are performing. Because when a student is talking individually is a different thing. When you are sitting in a group and you are trying to add on to your points, you need to understand how you should add on to your things, how you should put up your point of view. That is very, very important. The body language, the facial expressions, the way of speaking, the way of interrupting, everything plays an important role, and it should be very, very optimistic and positive. So this we need to understand about the content, how much knowledgeable content the person is sharing, how much amount of reading the candidate has done, how much relevance it is making to the topic or the theme which we are discussing, how much original it is, how much creative it is, how much awareness it is creating, and what all judgment has been made. Then comes the communication skills. So, verbal language clarity plays a very important role. Aptitude of the candidate, listening skills of the candidate, speaking skills. Again, I said non-verbal postures, eye contact, body language, gestures, facial expressions. Because I would like to add on here that, how much we are speaking is again important, but the kind of expressions we make while speaking plays very important role. The kind of voice modulation we are doing, we can even with a single statement with with a normal expression we can convey the things, and with a very simple statement with lot of expressions adding on to the facial language, we can put a sarcasm also. So that is very, very important. The communication skill should be very good and positive in approach, and the person should be a good listener. Now these days people don't listen, they just speak, they want to speak. So make your students understand. I always, in my class, in my session, I make them understand, I make my students understand that if you want to be a good speaker, first listen what another person is saying and understand and then reply. Now then comes the group behavior. Now when you are talking individually, when you are representing yourself individually, that's a different criteria. But when you are sitting in the group, team building plays a very important role, and the kind of communication you have with the team builds the team. And you can, again, with your communication only you can become a leader. So make them understand team building is very important, team management is very important. If the discussion is becoming directionless, bring back to the point and manage your team well. There should not be any kind of fight. Group dynamics should be maintained well. Conflict should be resolved. There should not be any kind of fight or something. And some good initiators should be there in the group. That is very, very important. Interpersonal skill, again I will say, each and every student need to understand that the person should have good amount of emotional intelligence, investigative ability. If somebody is trying to resolve the problem, if some topic has been given that you need to come back to a conclusion, you need to resolve the issue, that is very, very important. That decision making should be very, very strong. Time management, when a group discussion is going on, you need to understand that it is always time bounded. So it should be concluded in the given time, and this needs to be understood by the participant of the team, that somebody needs to conclude it on the time. Assertive behavior is very, very important. And leadership, again, as I've already told you, that when you are sitting in the team, this all interpersonal skills, if somebody has learned, with lot of group discussions in the class, if students have this clarity कि भाई आगे जाके अगर हम कहीं जॉब भी करते हैं और अगर आज हम ये ग्रुप डिस्कशन भी कर रहे हैं तो हमारी मार्किंग इन चीजों से अफेक्ट होती है, और आगे जाके जब हम वी आर सिटिंग अराउंड द टेबल एंड वी आर पुटिंग ऑन आवर पॉइंट्स, if we need to sound more sensible, and we need to have a positive approach with management, and we need to be we need to have a problem solving attitude, then we need to understand that interpersonal skills plays a very important role. One should not dominate in the team, one should be part of team. So that is why make them understand that this is अभी आपके साथ में एक mock GD चल रहा है, और in future you will be sitting with some professionals and in your corporates, and you will be sitting with corporates and you will be discussing something important, some important company strategy and all. So ये समझना बहुत जरूरी है, और ये evaluation criteria students को समझना बहुत जरूरी है. Next slide, sir. Now, roles in GD. So as I have already mentioned that there is a group of students you need to understand. Now here is again a kind of role in the GD. There are people who are creators. They will generate ideas. They will solve the issues. They will solve the problem. Promoters, they promote the alternatives and they make decisions. Assessors, assessing the content and ideas, different ideas they will explore. Organizing the issues and managing the time. Organizers, producers, generate, design or model. They need to understand what kind of discussion they are making, how they are making, and how they are going to implement it. Controller, examine the details and enforce. Maintainers, maintain the rapport and discipline in the group. Advisors, encouragement and backup. Linkers are the coordinators who can, link with the discussion that A has said something or B is trying to say something. We can link the discussion and add on to the things, and keep the things on a positive note, and make discussion more movable, so that everyone can add on and everyone can enjoy listening, and everyone can add on to the meaning, something meaningful to the discussion. Next slide, sir. Yograj sir, next slide. Now GD can be divided into roles to discuss a scenario, maybe a scenario of the company, as I've already told you, maybe any political issue, any theme, any fact-based things or something like that. Now, most of the times, we should. I always suggest, teachers, and even I practice that. Give them, flavor of topics, different flavors. So suppose in one class, in one group discussion, you have given something, you are discussing about the companies or MNCs or foreign policies or something related to the foreign exchange. Maybe in the next class you talk something about technology, some artificial intelligence, something, because we need to make them updated about the different topics, and this is how they will keep reading. Because these days people, the candidates or the students, they don't read newspapers because they have everything in hand. They feel that कुछ नहीं आएगा तुरंत गूगल कर लेंगे, फोन सबके पास होता है. अभी उतना अपडेटेड नहीं होते बच्चे और रिटेन नहीं करते, बिकॉज बहुत सारी इंफॉर्मेशन एक समय पे देख रहे होते हैं. तो इसीलिए कुछ ऐसे कलरफुल टॉपिक्स या एक मिक्स बैग हो जिसमें कि हमने उन्हें आईटी से रिलेटेड, टेक्नोलॉजी से रिलेटेड, साइंस से रिलेटेड, पॉलिटिक्स से रिलेटेड, मैनेजमेंट से रिलेटेड, फैक्ट बेस्ड, हेल्थ कॉन्सेप्ट, जो भी मतलब जितने भी डिफरेंट रिक्वायरमेंट आज के सिनेरियो में कॉर्पोरेट में जाने के लिए होती हैं, ये सारी चीजों को कलेक्ट करके हम एक उनका जीडी सेशन प्लान कर सकते हैं, विच शुड गो अराउंड द ईयर, अराउंड द सेमेस्टर, एंड गिव देम लाइक वीक में 2 क्लासेस फॉर ग्रुप डिस्कशन, और टेक योर सिलेबस, एंड आपके सिलेबस में कुछ टॉपिक ऐसे जब कंप्लीट हो जाते हैं, now give them some scenario and make them explain why the company should reach to any of the discussion or decision, how decision making is done after having group discussions. So this is very, very important. Next slide, sir. Yograj sir, next slide. Yograj sir. Now, importance of group discussion in education and learning. So as I've already mentioned that group discussion plays a vital role in students' life. Group discussion in the classroom are not only beneficial for students' social skills, but also enhance their educational development and learning. Some of these benefits are, it helps them to develop the critical thinking. It helps them to understand the concept properly, deeply for the longer time, because, it happens. अगर कोई चीज कोई बच्चा पढ़ता है तो सुनता है, याद रख पाता है, लेकिन अगर पढ़ के उसको एक्ट कर लेता है या एबल टू शेयर दैट piece of information with somebody, the retention of that particular topic becomes more stronger. So just keep giving them these kind of platform and activity they should perform, so that they can retain things deeply, because they will read it, they will then explain it. And when we will talk about role play, I will give you another most important thing in the next module. Role play में कैसे ये और effective हो जाता है. So it improves the communication skills, improve interest in lessons, and provide the feedback also. Now this is very important. I have mostly observed that whenever group discussions are organized, what happens is some of the teachers, कल आपका ग्रुप डिस्कशन है, आपका ये टॉपिक है, आपने एक दिन पहले बताया, ठीक है, नहीं तो आप रैंडमली क्लास में जाके एक टॉपिक लिख देते हैं बोर्ड पर, और ऐसा कहते हैं हम कि बच्चों को कि चलिए अभी ग्रुप डिस्कशन करना है. अभी कई बार बच्चे ब्लैंक हो जाते हैं बिकॉज उन्होंने नहीं पढ़ा है. आप उनको प्रिपरेशन की टाइम दीजिए, एक दिन का समय जब आप देते हैं, और उन्हें बताइए कि आपकी इवैल्यूएशन जो अभी हमने पिछले कुछ स्लाइड्स में देखा है, उन एरियाज पर आपकी इवैल्यूएशन की जाएगी. एंड जस्ट टेल देम दैट यू विल बी गिवन द फीडबैक आल्सो, that how you should improve on your interpersonal skill. Agar if some students are shy by nature, you always have that group of students, उनको motivated रखना is very important. And I completely agree to the point. आप में से भी बहुत सारे faculties ये problem face करते होंगे कि क्लास में ऐसे बच्चे होते हैं, वो इतने shy होते हैं कि वो ग्रुप में नहीं बैठना चाहते, वो अटेम्प्ट नहीं करना चाहते, वो नहीं बोलना चाहते, आप उन्हें कितना भी मोटिवेट कर ले. तो यहाँ ये छोटा सा टेक्निक जो कई बार मुझे बहुत अच्छा रिजल्ट देता है, शायद आप सभी के भी थोड़ा सा काम आएगा, कि व्हाट आई डू इज आई प्रिपेयर अ शीट, एंड उस शीट में आई इंडिविजुअल एस्पेक्ट पर आई मेक मार्किंग, एंड आई कॉल द स्टूडेंट्स एंड आई मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड दिस आर योर एरिया ऑफ इम्प्रूवमेंट्स. नाउ फ्रॉम द नेक्स्ट टाइम प्लीज वर्क ऑन इट एंड इम्प्रूव इट बेटर. सो स्टूडेंट को ये भी लगता है कि इंडिविजुअल अटेंशन हैज बीन गिवन टू मी, and I really need to work it out. अब कई बार ऐसा होता है कि जब हम फीडबैक नहीं देते हैं तो हम उसको ओपन एंडेड छोड़ रहे हैं. दैट मीन्स सम ऑफ द स्टूडेंट्स फील कि हम यहाँ बैठे तो थे, इस सिनेरियो का हिस्सा तो थे, हमने नहीं बोला तो भी हम बच गए. अभी उनकी एज में वो बच जाते हैं, उन्हें बड़ी खुशी होती है कि हम तो बच गए इस मुसीबत से, लेकिन उन्हें ये नहीं पता होता कि उन्होंने कितनी सारी लर्निंग मिस कर दी. तो अभी हमें समझाना है उन्हें. वी नीड टू मेक देम अंडरस्टैंड दैट यू नो दिस इज एक्टिविटी विच इज समथिंग वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर यू एंड प्लीज टेक इट सीरियसली. दिस विल हेल्प यू. इसके बाद आपको अलग से जाके पर्सनालिटी डेवलपमेंट की क्लासेस नहीं करनी होंगी. तो आपके लिए जीडी सिर्फ क्लासरूम का इवैल्यूएशन करके हम नहीं बता रहे हैं, बट आपको आगे तक ये हेल्पफुल रहेगा. एंड हाउ इट इज गोइंग टू एड ऑन टू योर इन फ्यूचर, make them understand the importance. One more thing I want to add on, we are into institutes where we conduct internal examination. Now here what strategy I adopt is, sometimes I make GD as part of CCE. I tell them that, you will have like 3 internal examination, one will be GD. Now in the GD, this will be the evaluation criteria and you have to appear it and you will be given a separate marking. Now, during your preparation time, please understand the process, and during your CC internal examination, you need to perform in the GD properly, otherwise you will lose your marks. So that is why feedback plays a very important role, and they will definitely improve. I have seen such improvements in the students, and that is why I'm sharing with all of you. So please practice it. You will feel the difference. So next slide, please. Yograj sir. Yes, thank you. Benefits of GD. Now suggestions. It is through group discussion that a meaningful and practically implementable solution can be reached. The collaboration of this suggestion gives rise to a new one and creating a space for the best possible output. Now, when we are talking about GD, this is very, very important that students should understand that suggestion is must, and different kind of suggestion or different brainstorming or different point of views will come, and definitely we will reach to output or sensible output or a problem solving output, and it is going to make a lot of sense. This activity has its own importance. Wide approach group discussion helps to provide a wide approach to any concern under consideration, and it includes employees from different sections for a particular business organization. Yes, because maybe now here again I would like to add on one more thing. What you can do is, this activity I most of the time I do in the class. When I teach entrepreneurship, I call a group of students, say 5 students or 10 students, whatever possible. I assign them some roles. Now this is again it is a mix of GD and role play. During my role play session, I will elaborate it much better. Here I am trying to tell you in a short way that I give them role and I just make them sit around the table and I tell them that you are a finance manager, you are marketing manager, you are this and that. Now please give your point of views that how company should plan the strategy to increase the sale. So this is it has its own wide approach of the business organization that you can create. You can give and you can make them do a lot of brainstorming on a given scenario. I request Swati Sharma madam to please mute yourself. Decision making. Now group discussion helps in evaluation of a problem and reaches to a suitable decision based on suggestions presented by the member. It also makes it easier for the boss or chairperson to able to reaching to a tough decision and with an ease. Because of the group discussion, he or she know that decision to be taken and supported by the other members of the company also. So willingness of all the people who are sitting reaching to the one point conclusion, जिस पे सब agree कर रहे हो, उसको कैसे किया जाना चाहिए, again can be taught through group discussion. And again by consent of everyone, हमने सबका consent लिया है, and now we are reaching to this decision. So this scenario can be created again. Exchanging of ideas with the help of group discussion. The exchange of ideas is taken place as every member participate in the group discussion. They have diversified ideas. There is lot of ideas, and with a lot of ideas reaching to a single point and a feasible point, is one of the because so many students or so many candidates are sitting, they have their own ideas, so we have pool of ideas. Now reaching to the best idea again becomes easy. Productive activity it is, yes, you're reaching to the most reliable and most majority approval is one of the greatest aspect of the group discussion, I must say. Next slide, sir. Now there are some do's and don'ts. When we organize group discussions, this we need to understand that there are several things about which you have to be careful. Now speak pleasantly and politely in the group. Tell your students that when you are sitting in the group, you are putting your points. Don't fight, don't be loud, don't dominate. है ना, लड़ाइयाँ भी कर लेते हैं बच्चे कई बार. So do's are these. They should speak pleasantly. They should be very polite. Respect and recognize the contribution of every member and represent or nod with a nod or smile on their face. Agree and acknowledge whatever you find interesting. Disagree politely because it is a discussion, not an argument. Do a mental revision of what you have going to say and think of how the best answer, what will be the best answer to the question or contribute to the topic. Stick to the theme of discussion and not get engaged in other irrelevant discussions. It is very, very important. And follow etiquettes while speaking and be confident. These are the do's. And don'ts are, some of the don'ts are listed. Don't lose your temper. It should be a discussion. It should not be argument. One should not be very aggressive and with medium approach, medium pitch, or not very louder, with not wrong gestures, with not the people bang on the table sometimes when they talk, and students mostly do this. So we need to make them understand that do not draw any, do not come to take something very personally, and don't connect the discussion with your personal experience. This is also one of the things, because we are talking in a larger scenario, and sometimes it happens when we discuss something with our own personal experience, we start putting on points. So that we need to make them clear that what you are adding on, it should be a universal fact. So make them understand these scenarios. Next slide, sir. So can we move to next slide? Okay. So this was all about the group discussion. We can stop sharing the screen. Thank you so much, Yuvraj sir. Yes, it is open to everyone now.
Now you all are welcome for open questionnaire rounds. Participants, if you have any queries, please come and ask.
Ma'am, I do have a query. Can I?
Yeah, please.
Ma'am, I teach communication and personality development to my students, and many times, as you said, that we have a mixed crowd. Few of them are very active and initiators, and few of them are very introvert and shy. So the problem what I face many times is, because of the shy nature, these kids obviously cannot talk, and the other people keep talking and they just keep waiting for their turn, which never comes. So sometimes few students I have observed that their motivation levels all the more go down when they are sitting with the rest of the people who are much active than them. So should I go ahead and do a separate session for such kind of students, or should I encourage them in the same setup to talk?
So ma'am, here what I practice, I share with you. What happens in my case also, like if I divide the class in 4 or 5 groups, I always get like 2-3 students in every group. So I make a separate group for these people. Like if I have like 7 students who are very shy by nature, and they're not that friendly in speaking, and they feel kind of fear while speaking. So initially in this group, I motivate them, I give them small topics, I push them to speak. When I feel that they're reaching to a level, then I again mix these students to the prepared ones, those who are prepared and good in speaking. I make them sit with them, and then I initiate the discussion. So this how I improve the scenario, because it always happens that it is always a group of students where we have a group of students who are not willing to speak at times. And even when I make this kind of group, like I have 7 students who are mediocre, they are not very good in speaking. Now at times I again face that 2 students left who they don't want to speak. So that scenario we cannot improve. But yes, out of this 7, if 5 are improving, it is making a lot of sense. And I again take these 5 students and I mix them with the other group, and then I motivate them. And whenever they are trying to say something, I try to boost up their confidence by putting underline to their inputs that wow, whatever you have add on to it is very good. So this is how I motivate my students. So you can try that, ma'am.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Any other question? Any other question? Anuja ma'am has raised her hand. So many of you have raised your hands. Please unmute yourself. You can speak to me.
Ma'am, if
Ma'am,
nobody else
please
has another
unmute
question,
yourself.
can I ask one more?
Yes.
Usually when we conduct a group discussion, what is an ideal time if I have a group of around 10 students, what should be the ideal time which I should allot for one topic with them?
Ma'am, not more than like 40 minutes. 45 minutes.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. You are from which place, ma'am?
Ma'am, I'm from Jaipur. I'm actually a hotel management graduate and a postgraduate, and I teach hotel management subjects along with communication and personality development to the students.
Very nice. So I think 45 minutes are more than enough for a GD. And if we have taken a topic which is really long and in depth, some discussion is going on, so we can extend it to 1 hour, but not more than that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Noted.
Yeah, somebody has asked me a question that how one should add the grades and all. So evaluating criteria I have already discussed. So ma'am, you can on the basis of that evaluating criteria, you can decide the grades. And if somebody is doing perfectly fine all the points, उसका इंटरपर्सनल स्किल अच्छा है, उसका जो भी एस्पेक्ट अच्छा है, सब में बहुत अच्छा है ऐसा तो नहीं हो सकता. जिसमें अच्छा है उसके हिसाब से you can give them grading. But that is the very effective criteria to judge a group discussion. This is what I believe because I practice that. What could be the good batch size? So I will suggest 10 to 12 students is enough initially, because हम चाहते हैं all the students should participate and they should add on to the discussion. तो 12 बच्चे मुझे लगता है enough होते हैं, जहां हम सबके साथ कोऑर्डिनेशन प्रॉपर रख सकते हैं. बिकॉज हम वी बीइंग टीचर्स आर अलोन, तो हमें खुद ही अकेले ही जज करना है. तो 12 से ज्यादा मुझे नहीं लगता मेक सेंस. एनी अदर क्वेश्चन?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Dr. Saurabh Mishra, any question?
Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Very knowledgeable lecture, ma'am. Thank you.
Most welcome, sir. Thank you so much for the appreciation. Thanks everyone for the patient listening. Nikita ma'am, over to you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this thoughtful and informative session. And thank you to all the participants also for being a good listener. Once again, thank you, ma'am, for spending your precious time to guide us with your precious knowledge. I and our whole RFI team heartily welcomes you. Thank you, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Participants, we have already shared the YouTube link. You can follow that and get all the PPTs and the recorded video of this lecture from that link.